Give me a moment of silence. Okay, so stand for the pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call from the left.
Eliseo Trujillo, the third.
Agur Rios.
Amy Hodges,
Pat Kelly.
Chris Madrid.
Cindy Cash.
Scott Picture.
Okay, moving along. Discuss, consider, and act to approve the consent items, meeting minutes from January 13th and the January financials.
I move to approve the meeting minutes of January 13, 2026 and the January financials.
I'll second.
Motion second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Move right along. 6, presentation and comments by the public. If you've signed up on the list, you can speak. If you haven't signed up, you can sign up now, and you can have time now to speak on anything you want. I'll start on the list. Gary Cable. You can speak from back here if you want. I mean, you got some people got stage fright.
I saw that the Bridge Farmer Phase 2 was on the agenda, so this is something I've said before. I just wanted to put out a reminder, a suggestion for me about the Y intersection that's down around that S curve on it. My suggestion is to make that Y more of a boulevard entrance and bring the stop signs in, kind of like Overland is. You know how that boulevard's got, you can sense that tree's there, you can split the tree. That's really it. I think it would help that particular intersection a lot too. Right now that Y just doesn't make sense. I don't know if it ever made sense. But anyway, so that's it. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Next, Janet Alexander. There you are. Maybe do your name and address for me?
I want to thank the city council for taking care of the,
Do your name and address for me?
Janet Alexander,
And address?
325 Lakeway Trails.
Yeah, just so it's on the record.
Yeah, so I just wanted to thank you for taking care of some things that were going on in my neighborhood. I'm here to talk about line item, I believe it's E. It is my understanding that there's a discussion on the table about allowing reservations for line item discussion on an agenda item when that item comes up. I'm 1000% for that because it's awfully difficult to have a discussion when we don't know what's actually being discussed because the agenda doesn't tell us a whole lot of detail. So that's where I stand on that. And then the other is I noticed that we have orange markings on our road again. So I don't know what's going on, doesn't look good. I hope and pray to God you do not choose Apple Construction to do this again. I hope and pray that you put somebody in charge of this project. Thank you.
Amen. Jay, where are you at?
All right.
Name and address, sir.
Jay Urish, Overland Drive. Stand in front of you, want to talk about line item 6. You're probably going to discuss resolution 157. I think it'd be a great idea. Sometimes we have a number of different business items on the agenda, and be able to speak as that specific item comes up before you as a council collectively start talking about it and working through the nuances, whatever. I think it'd be a great idea instead of having everybody bunched up in one little set. Like right now, we're all talking about 5, 8 different things perhaps. And so I think it'd make much more sense to say, okay, somebody comes up, we're going to talk about line item C, okay, they can talk about that when you're going to talk about line item C. That's just my opinion. Just want to get registered for the right. Thanks.
Gerald Mead, sir.
I second what Jay just said.
You
Can
gotta,
you repeat?
gotta give me your name and address for the record.
Yeah, Gerald Mead, 875 Overland Drive. I have another question that I'd like to put out. Are we getting tax money from the state of Texas through the gas tax to repair our roads? If not, why not? Has anybody ever asked the state for money? I mean, if we have to have our road open to general population should be paying for repairs on our road. It shouldn't be just on the homeowners here. You see what I'm saying? McKinney, other cities, large cities, they all get gas tax money to fix their roads. Why can't we? Has anybody ever looked into it?
Yep.
Real quick, if you don't mind, Mayor.
No.
I believe after we got the exhibit B or whatever we got from TXP, they announced that having a gas station then allows you to draw from the state for the gas tax. Since we have no gas station, we can't draw on something we don't put into as a city. So we have to have a gas station in order to draw from that.
Really?
Correct.
But what I pay in McKinney in gas tax,
Because you're using their roads to fuel at their stations that are there locally, so then it helps to go back there. Again, Chris, I think we read the same thing.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, we can't collect a gas tax if we don't have a gas station.
so once our gas station is done, we can
Yes.
collect it.
That's one of the big draws of having it in town.
Great, we need a couple more gas stations.
Couple
Thank
cheap
you.
gas stations.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, Linda. There you are.
Hi.
Address, please.
Linda Hilsenback, 105 Settlers Trail, and I agree with the others on the E that we should be able to listen to what you all say and then give input to what might be actually going on, so we hear everything. And also, if we say it all at the beginning and nothing during, it limits the rights for us to voice our opinion as a homeowner. Okay. Also, I would like to, on number D, the park furnishings, I'm not sure if y'all have considered about people donating for some of this stuff instead of paying for it. I don't know if you did that. If you have, that's great. Okay, that's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Next on the list, Pete Crichton, there you go.
Pete Christian, 325 Overland. Just like Jay had mentioned about Resolution 157, I'm in general agreement with that. Just because I've participated with you guys in the past, I know that I was talking to Janice about other business today, and I asked her about that, and she explained it to me. So that would be useful to have that to where we can speak with it, and it gets after you have some input and other citizens have input. You may generate you might generate questions as you discuss it later that we may want to ask. To help move the meetings along, since I've been in your position, I understand that if an item becomes much more complex, you don't normally have emergencies that require it being solved now. If something becomes a more complex discussion, you can always shelve it for a work meeting. We've done that in the past too. The only other thing I wanted to say is if you could put on the agenda at some time in the future, internet connections. As far as I'm concerned, opening for has failed. They're not even close to a timeline. I don't even know if they're in business properly anymore in this neighborhood. So I would consider that a done deal. I'd like to explore that again, and what we can do. And I will have to do that in a future meeting.
AT&T was out in my area 2 weeks ago, measuring off everything for fiber optic. They were doing engineering plans. How soon they're gonna start? The guy was out there and said he suspected within a year.
We'll see.
Yeah, we've heard those songs and dance before. Well, they actually sent an engineer out there drawing it off and wheeling off the distances and everything else. So maybe something will come of it.
Yeah, and we can explore what the new neighborhoods did up there too. We'll probably have done it first before we do that. But anyway, that would be another discussion for another day. All right, thanks guys.
Right? There we go.
Yeah, I'm with the rest of the community that thinks that we should have our own voice as part of Larry's Crossing.
Name and address.
Sorry,
I
Debbie
was looking to see who came in behind you.
Debbie Gowen, 1900 North Meadows Circle. And I just think that we should have our input, like it's been in the past, that everybody has a right, you know, if you're a homeowner in Larry's Crossing, you should have a right to be able to speak about whatever y'all are addressing or whatever kind of issues that we have that come up in the community.
Okay.
And I'm 100% for it.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Anybody coming there lately?
Bill,
Were you want to sign up? And I know you come there late.
I did. I'm trying to sign.
Sign up and have a say on something?
Thanks, sir.
And what most of y'all seem to be here for is about this resolution 157, about the times you can speak, just to clear it up for you, that you have a chance to speak at the discussion at the beginning, or you can wait for the line item. But when it gets to the line item with this change, you have to speak before the line item, before the council starts discussion, before you know what's going on. You can't ask questions like we have forever during it when you know what's going on. So that's the change. They want to have you speak prior to their discussion of the line item. I know some people, it's taking it differently when they just spoke. So that's to clear it up. You can speak at the beginning of the meeting or at the beginning of the line item and not during discussion, ask questions or anything. Randy, you signed up? You everything you were signed up to say?
I do. I wanna. Sorry, my name is Randy Cleaver. I live at 835 Cross Timbers. I live over in the crossings. I did want to speak up concerning the changes that are being put forth on the city. I'm against those changes. I don't want those changes to be put forth, obviously for the obvious reasons.
What changes are you referencing?
Referencing the changes that of the city council that wanted to make the changes on the
That 157 resolution there?
yeah, resolution 150. Okay. So I oppose it. I'm against it. And I want to put my voice out here, tell you that I don't believe it's for the best interest of the city, and I don't believe that this is something that we need to move forward.
Anything else, sir?
No, I just want to let you know about that, and appreciate you guys doing the job you do, and appreciate your support of veterans.
Thank you, sir. Moving right along to business items. A, discuss, consider, and act to select asphalt option for the Bridge Farmer Road Phase 2. Oh, look for where it's at. This is Justin Ivy, the city's engineer. So y'all know what's going on there. Okay, lay it out for us, sir.
So we provided you with several options for the repaving of phase 2 of the Bridge Farmer. And kind of want some feedback on what your thoughts are on what are your expectations for this, and what's the direction we need to move forward? Because I mean, we had the specs and everything put together, so we've got a bit far behind. And that's based on the recommended typical section, 12 inches of base and 6 inches of asphalt.
You want to go through these four real fast for us?
The four.
Yeah, the four options, just the difference in
So
thicknesses.
we started with a similar section to what we did on the previous phase, which is 8 inches of base and then 4 inches of asphalt. It's a little bit thicker. But then we also gave you an option for 12 inches of base with 4 inches of asphalt. And we did another option for, I believe it was
8 inches base.
8 inches of base and 6 inches of asphalt, and then the last and final option was 12 inches of base with the 6 inches of asphalt.
And on the 6 inch, that's a different class, 2 different types of asphalt. A base and
Yes.
a speed coat.
So you actually have a base coat. It's a little bit coarser, but it's got more larger rocks in it, so it's a little bit more stable.
A little more stable, but not stable enough for 18-wheelers.
No, well, it's a flexible pavement, so it's meant to move.
This design.
Yes. Well, any asphalt pavement is designed to move.
Justin, is there a recommendation, right? So again, so everyone knows, we're talking about another probably $1 million for this next section of Bridge Farmer. What is, I mean, again, based on the work you've done in the past in other cities and other areas that get this similar traffic, I mean, do we need 12 inches of flex base? Are we okay to do 8 inches of flex base? From an engineering perspective, what's your recommendation?
But it depends on your expectations. So if
You want it to last
maintain
forever.
all the
Yeah, we want it to
traffic,
last forever.
if
and
you
be as
want it to
cheap as
last
possible.
forever, you
Yeah.
want the more expensive option.
So 12 inches of flex base.
And then you know what's underneath your pavement, and you know that you have a good driving surface with a base underneath it. It kind of takes the guesswork out of it.
Okay. So 12 inches of flex base, 6 inches of asphalt, almost 1.3 million is what we're
A budget.
just budgeting. Okay. And again, specific line items. I mean, again, we can kind of address those, or readdress those as we need to, because this isn't like set. It's not set in concrete, right? It's just a estimated number.
What's gonna go out to RFP?
This will go out to RFP.
This will go out to RFP, right? You're just giving an estimate, but we won't know for sure until they come back in with it.
Right, we try to provide you with budget numbers that are conservative. I don't want to be the highest bidder. And I expect some bids to be higher, I expect some bids to be lower, I want to be in the middle. So that way, if I tell you it's gonna cost $1 million and it comes in at 800,000, win, right? If I tell you it's 1 million and it comes in at 1.5, just what the heck happens here? So now we gotta come up with another 500,000. So they're meant to be a little bit conservative.
And this doesn't include culverts?
No, we're not addressing drainage, we're just replacing the street. It does include, I believe we included a line item for driveway approaches on this.
Yes.
So we do tying driveways this time.
So professionally, you can't say if this is 2 years, 5 years, 6 months, 20, 30 years. But personally, with your experience on this stuff, do you think it's possible as a 20, 30-year road, knowing that there's gonna be some failures here and there and repairs needed, of course?
20 or 30 years? Did you say 20 or 30 years?
With proper maintenance, 30 years out of a section like this. You're approaching a TxDOT style section is what they would produce.
What we have out there now doesn't have any basement, most of it, and we've gotten 30 years or so with a lot of repairs and patching as a far away road. Just have my curiosity to ask.
If you have to do the crack sealing, if you have any low spots that start forming, cut those out, rebuild the base, repair the pothole, seal cracks. If you have to chip seal it, maybe in a few years, that's pretty cheap. You're spraying the water and just some really fine rock. As far as just rebuilding the road, it's a robust section. It should last, especially if you're looking at options for trying to detain trucks from turning on the bridge.
And that'll be addressed with the TXB road project down there, lengthening the road so we keep it medium so they can't turn left.
We're trying to do that. We're trying to deter that.
Anybody have any questions on that? Oops, sorry.
That's fine, Mayor. Just so I understand Justin correctly, at the 1.2 million and change, we're looking at 20 to 30 years because it's a 12-inch flex base with 6 inches of asphalt. And then if we are looking, say we would go to 1.05 million with 12 inches of flex base, 4 inches of asphalt, it would be what, 10 years less than that?
I couldn't give you a definite year,
Okay.
you know,
Just
for a service life for it.
yeah.
But, you know, typically thicker is better when it comes to paving. So
Just trying to
it's
see-
just my guess, and, you know, my educated guess is that you would get a lot better product and a lot longer design life out of it with the thicker option. And they're already here, they're already digging up the road, they're already doing the work. So the extra materials is just, you know, whatever the materials cost plus whatever the markups they have. Versus them coming back and doing it again in 5 years.
Right. Thanks, sir.
Yeah, no, just the only, I mean, so the 4 inches, right? So if we're kind of back to Joe's question, if we're comparing 8 inches of flex base versus 12, that 4 inches, we think it's worth $220,000 to spend to get the extra flex base. Like, if we're already talking about 6 inches of asphalt on top, do we? Again, I think all of us are trying to be good stewards of this. You know, of our tax dollars. So is it worth the extra $220,000 for 4 extra inches of flex space? If we're already going 6 inches of asphalt?
Well, not knowing really what's underneath the pavement every, 100, 200 feet.
I thought we do though. I mean, didn't we do a
They
road study?
had, I think it was a dozen borings or something like that was done with the geotech. And it's 2.5 miles of bridge farmer, so they were a lot further spaced than that.
Okay, I thought we did more than that.
Mayor, if I may, you're speaking of the SAM report, and I
Yes.
think the report itself has where they did the bores. Unfortunately, I don't have it memorized.
I think it was like 24.
Right, and so it'll have
That's really
locations, and I don't think it's thick paper, I don't think we really have it available. Oh, Janice might have it available, where it'll show us specifically where the bores on the entire South Richmond Road.
But I mean, if we just say it's 50 or 100, and then you've got 2.5 miles of road, and you got, what's that, 18,000 feet.
Yeah, and there's no way to make a educated.
Yeah, well, that's what we always do.
Oh.
Is, we try to take a, a conservative option of, we got this result from these bores and this result from these bores. What was the worst case? So then you combine, you look at the worst case scenario, well, we'll just design based on that. And that's what the geotech probably did.
Okay.
But really, in your opinion, then the more flex space, the more the better.
Yeah, 12, 18 inches. I mean, there's some point where you don't get much on your return.
Right.
But, a foot of flex space. It's substantial. It's a good base.
Any more discussion? Any more questions? Any more questions?
Yep. Well, I mean, I guess my concern is putting this money in. We don't know what our tax rate's gonna be yet. We don't, we may have the money there right now to pay for this, but what about being able to keep it up, the maintenance of it, so that it will last that long? I mean, we don't have anybody to enforce keeping the trucks, the 18-wheelers off that road. And so I just have a concern that of even doing it right now.
How many culverts are on this stretch of road?
We'll be crossing one down at Settlers, and then we don't cross things. So there's that one major culvert.
One by the fire chief's house.
But if we're leaving those as they are, there didn't look like there was anything wrong with the culvert on the inside. And there didn't look like there was anything wrong with the pavement, so I don't think there was anything wrong, any concern for a collapse or.
Okay, so we're not, we won't be doing that culvert at that time.
Well, we're after looking at it, he said he didn't think it needed to be done now, because it's a solid pipe and there's no rust or anything in it.
I'd
Worst
like to
case-
see head walls on all your culverts. But, you know, if you do replace that in the future and you spend $100,000 on head wall now, and you're gonna spend $25,000 to remove it, and another $200,000 to put another one in. So,
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, I'm just trying to think of any to pad this number heavily once we start into the project.
and this is.
But
the
it
limits.
can, but this will now handle trucks if you go to the 12 and the 6, right?
Well, it'll do a lot better with trucks. It depends on what they drive down there, you know, I don't know if those are actually, if they're not supposed to be on the road anyway, I don't even know if they're 80,000 pounds, they may be 90, 100,000 pounds.
Well, and the traffic's just increasing daily on our roads.
And this is based on the limits to, settlers, from settlers to settlers. Is there any merit to possibly, going to High Reach? And you can divert traffic a different direction to shut down. Would you like to see what the delta would be for that if you went from settlers to High Reach? Work up a number for that.
That would make sense, because then the next section, we'd close that completely, just local only, and then have High Ridge Farms to go around.
Yeah.
That's a miserable detour, so a lot of people didn't do it before when we had to replace the pipe.
And the settlers would be miserable too, but it'll be miserable for the residents with trucks
Mm-hmm.
running through there too.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna be any different on High Ridge.
So just what you're suggesting is adding a third to the distance of what we currently have now at 1.2 million.
Possibly, if that's what you wanna consider.
Well, logistically, it makes sense to divert traffic, but again, budget-wise, which right now is still uncertain where our budget's going to look like. Not true. We can play with the numbers based off of worst case scenarios. It's something it not passing.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, we'd be looking at 1.6, 1.7 if we go the extra third
Mm-hmm.
versus the 1.2,
Okay.
right? So, are you done?
Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
So, okay, so Justin, in this report, it says, obviously minimum thickness 2.5% surface course, type D, over 5 inches of base is kind of the recommendation. So if we're going total asphalt thickness of 7.5 over 8 inches of compacted crushed flex base, right? So that's the recommendation for the SAM. So if we're going 6, I'm just thinking if we're going 6 and 8, so here the recommendation is at least 8 inches. That'll give us an extra 220,000 if we need to go the extra third.
Weren't they wanting you to take that deeper than the actual base and then come back and stabilize the subgrade?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an additional cost on top of that, or bring in some select fill, which is another expense for hauling for the extra fill. Or they can do moisture conditioning, I think is in that report as well.
Oh, the line, whatever.
What about cutting the cost down, using the millings back in with the base instead of just hauling all the base in?
Of course, we can look
If
into
you haul
that as well.
60 tractor trailer loads of base, I mean, millings out, it's 60 less than.
Yeah, there's no reason to take the asphalt and dispose of it.
Because that's gonna be a stronger mix than straight out base.
Yeah, typically what we do on rehabs is we'll come back and they'll scarify the asphalt with, you know, just a little bit of whatever base material you have. They'll mix it all together, pulverize it, and then they might stabilize it with cement or lime, recrown it and grade it, compact it, and then they'll come back and overlay it. And that's typically what we do for.
Isn't that what line item 302 is? Cause I know that's what Apple did down at the bottom before we decided that we had to completely redo the last 100 feet, or
Yes.
200 feet. But line 302 is what our mayor has suggested. correct?
Yeah. You see it?
Scarify and repack existing subgrade, or Pat, you're talking about doing the top as well, right? The asphalt with the subgrade, mix it all together and recompact it, then do
Yes.
the subbase?
Yes.
So we would save 89K. Well, sorry, a portion of that for not disposing offsite.
Right.
Well, and the other thing we talked about is that everybody around here wants dirt. And from what I've talked to the residents that live in Langston, some that have been here for 50 years, there's nothing underneath the asphalt out there. And a couple of repairs that I made over the years, there's just dirt down there. So I'm thinking that a lot of people's dirt just won't leave right across them. They can dump a bunch in my place. I mean, there's all sorts of people that want the dirt. That saves us from hauling off.
Would like to err on the side of caution with that. Can we confirm that with attorneys? Because I don't know if it's going to be considered city property at that time. I know it's dirt, but we would have to make sure it's open to all citizens. And it's just kind of a gray line. I mean, I'm not objecting to the idea, but we need to first confirm with our.
Well, we're giving it away. We're paying to have it hauled off. We pay the more so it goes, the further it goes.
Right.
Pay,
Again,
so.
not against it, but it's completely legal in that we don't get some citizen that says I wasn't able to, I didn't have a dump trailer, I forget to, again,
No,
it's a good idea, but.
it'd be the same thing as going to the city page, just like we advertise, like we legally advertise for the meetings. It goes on the city webpage and Facebook.
First come, first served.
I suspect the bulk of that would be for disposal.
For the bulk of
Dispose of it somewhere. So if you have a place for that, we probably just remove that line item and then they can just figure out where you want to put it. Or we could direct them just put it where the city tells you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin.
Anybody else? Okay, we have 4 options. Engineer recommended the last one, 12 inches of flex base and 6 inches of asphalt over it. Do we have any motions on this?
I'll make a motion to table this till we get better numbers back. If we recycle, we go any extra up to Dowdy or up to High Ridge, adding the head walls.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? We have a motion and a second. All in favor of tabling it for another month or another 2 weeks? You can get it done in 2 weeks? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yes? None? Table until 2 weeks now. So we're looking on getting the price to go to High Ridge Farms.
And head walls.
Got the head walls. You said it would be a good time to do it when they're doing the road, right? Over the culvert, by the chief's house?
That's if you're not planning on replacing it anytime soon.
But if we replace it in the future, there's huge cost to getting it out of there and all that.
You have to jackhammer it out, remove reinforced concrete from a head wall, and they're gonna replace the culvert, put in another head wall.
I guess at least throw in the concrete bag cost for temporary one, right? Nothing else?
Yeah, but his opinion earlier was that it's fine the way it is, the pipe and all,
Right.
doesn't need
But
replacement.
that's what no, not the pipe.
Yeah.
But he's saying, do we want to spend the money for the head wall? If
We were out
gotta
there looking
replace
at-
it in 10 years.
Yeah.
or-
We were out there looking at it earlier and, the road's gonna be widened, basically 4 on each side, but in that section, it'll widen 2 feet to the right. The downhill side, leaving plenty of room over there still for the guardrail and all, cause that pipe goes another 40 or 50 feet out from the road. Whoever put that in out there, they're looking at widening it that way.
Yeah, on the one side.
Yeah.
The other side still needs that head wall.
That would
That's
still
the-
give us all the room.
That's, the water's coming from that side, so it'll be a side to protect, right?
Maybe you can get a price on it.
At least something. Line item, we can always write line item.
Or just install a
Again.
head wall and upstream culvert.
Upstream
Yeah,
side,
center.
east side.
North side. center.
Yep, yep. So running it up to High Ridge Farms and the head wall, and I thought there was a third thing that was mentioned.
See what our budget's actually gonna be for this if we got it. Crunch the numbers again. just to make sure we don't get the tax increase and things, we want to drain the bank account right now.
How long you, you'll have it ready for next meeting, 2 weeks from now? Okay, well,
Anytime, get on the agenda.
okay, B, discuss, consider, and act to provide direction on the culvert replacement at Langston Lane and Bridge Farm.
Okay, so Pat and I looked at the culvert today, and there doesn't appear to be any additional deflection on the pipe. And this is the first time I laid eyes on it, and the crack doesn't look like it's down the center of the pipe, it looks like it was on the side. So it was probably, it looks like, is where they trenched to replace the culvert. And if they were compacting it, with a bucket or, a jumping jack or whatever it was, and they didn't get right up next to where the excavation stopped, where they cut the pavement, there are some soft spots on the side. When they come down off of that, it's compressing on each side of that culvert.
The dirt.
Yeah, I don't know that it's the culvert failing itself. So you could probably do something, go on each side of that joint and cut out and excavate down a foot or so, come in with a 6 or 8 inch reinforced concrete pavement, and then put some asphalt on top of that. That would probably save that culvert, but you do need head wall, at least on the upstream side. It's getting really, really close to the embankment on the road, and you've got a lot of erosion there, and plus it'll give you some room to put in a guardrail.
We'd have to collar that pipe.
Yeah.
Extend it 5 feet.
They'd have to come up with something creative, and we have to drill through the pipe and put in some kind of rods to go into the concrete.
Yeah.
I don't know, I didn't have time to look at it after we looked at it this morning, but I think they'd probably have to do something special for it, to collar it.
They sort of chipped all the concrete. They poured a lot of riprap and a lot of concrete for head wall.
Yeah, they'll have to tear all that out.
Oh God, it's thick.
And then the side streets probably just drain over the top of it, and we'll have an apron at the bottom where it can drain on the apron and on dry dirt.
Okay.
Question.
Sir.
What's the cost difference? Again, just hypotheticals versus like replacing the whole thing and then just doing that. It's the northeast side. If we're gonna put a head wall, what's again hypothetical? Like, what is it gonna save us half? Is it gonna save us a quarter?
I think it's definitely less than half. Because I mean, most of your cost is in the cost of those big boxes. Are you showing those boxes? Most of those they don't even keep on site. They have to actually cast those for your project.
Anybody else? Any more questions on this one?
Sorry, I do.
Okay.
Question, just because we noticed we have an issue with High Ridge, the direction of this culvert. Do you suggest to keep this direction, or do you suggest tilting it just slightly?
If it could definitely use some realignment, that we would have to do that if we replaced the entire pipe.
Okay, so if we do a full realignment.
Yeah, I think we provided a plan sheet for that, what that would look like, adjusting the pipe slightly, and then skewing the head walls where it kind of points. It directs the water where it wants to go versus into an embankment. But if we don't replace the pipe, we're limited on what we can do on each end.
Okay.
What if we move the creek upstream from it? You want to move the creek over from upstream from it? You're only talking 100 feet, that curve.
Yeah, we can grade the creek as far as you want to.
That would prevent, that would
Yeah.
do away with the realignment though, because then the water would be straight in.
Yes, if you wanted to replace the culvert. But I thought we were just talking
No,
about.
I mean, if we
just
did
doing the
replace,
wall.
if we did replace the culvert, straighten that little bend of the creek out, and then the water would be straight in at that angle the culvert is now.
Yeah, any bends you can eliminate
Yeah.
somewhat. Well, those bends are fluids. So, I mean, it'll be right there this year, and in 20 years, it'll be up 30 inches cold, because on the outside of the channel, it's gonna keep eroding, and the inside is gonna keep it positive.
Yeah.
But they keep moving.
Okay, so,
Table that. Excuse me. We'll table this out as well.
I'm gonna go to the table
Goes
with
with
the
the next one.
directions, just to
yeah, just looking for the right direction on it. He's basically saying it's good as it is, could add a head wall to it when we do that section of road.
Yeah, if you want me to revise the plans instead of replacing the pipe with the box, then I'll just revise it to install a head wall and do minimal amount of grading, fix the road base above the culvert, and then repaint over the top of it.
Can you do option for both? The cost for replacing the whole thing?
I thought I gave you, if I didn't give you an option for the full replacement, then I'll do that.
And then just calling it, adding a head wall to it?
Yep.
Option D. So, that's direction on that one. Okay, move on to C, discuss, consider and act to provide input for Bridge Farmer widening project. I think that's at 380.
Yes. I think we kind of sorted it out, other than the, what's next?
Yeah,
We have the marching order for wherever they ended on the north side of the church driveway. High at the radius.
on the south, ending on the south side of the west driveway.
Okay.
So that we keep that medium for trucks turning left. Okay.
Yeah, I thought we wanted to prevent trucks going west out of and then being able to go south. Right?
Right.
So that section is gonna be widened, but then it'll be kind of right before the church or.
But it won't be narrow, the street's gonna stay, once it gets down to, back to 2 lanes, it's gonna be 24 feet wide. The median will be in the middle, so you're gonna lose probably a foot on each side, so it'll be 11-foot lanes on each side.
It's okay.
So we went out there and he was marking it off. We had to go from basically almost the north side of that west parking lot, the extra 14, 15 feet
Okay.
to the south side, so he keeps us 24 feet, so he can have that medium so trucks can't turn left. And inevitably, to narrow the road down to 22 feet, it'd be 24 feet. When the rest of that gets developed, we'd be tearing it all up and doing it again. And the church is okay with doing it. Because they get a new driveway entrance there anyway, because all the water ditch and all that stuff comes out.
Okay.
There are culverts on it comes out, it's in the way.
Where is it gonna stop?
Parking lot across from the church,
But on the.
south side of that driveway. Not the south driveway, there's 2 driveways.
Right.
The north one with the south side.
Okay, so it's not going all the way to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like 20 feet
Right.
more than
But it's
what.
not gonna go to the other end of the driveway.
No. It's
Not sensitive.
No.
No, the first one.
The first one.
Yeah, okay.
There's
Okay.
one driveway here,
Yep.
a driveway there. There's a project, instead of ending about right here, it has to go over there. Because ending it right here, then they have their culvert pipes. They have to have a hole, water go down in. So
Yes. Okay.
West drive, so it
No, that's fine. I just wanna make sure we weren't talking
No,
about
no, no.
widening all the way to the other one.
As long as we run into one, if we start getting this back down to existing before this driveway, then we have to taper it. And narrow the road, but this way we can bring it straight into this curve, and we do this curve turn,
Okay.
and make it a little bit wider. And then you keep the same section.
Okay.
But this median also is just gonna be, it's not gonna be a very big median, it's gonna be about 15, 20. Its sole purpose is to try to
Or, turning to the left essentially. Out of TXB.
it's only 6 inches. We paint the curve and put those ballards on it, you can see down the HOV in the river.
Well, northbound, we'll put, we'll call it bullet nose, so the median's gonna taper down to about 2 inches.
Oh,
That way,
Nobody
if
hits the
you're coming
curve.
northbound and you hit it, it's not just a 6-inch,
It's a ramp.
basically.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Okay, so anything else on that? The conversation with TXB about stormwater.
Yeah, do we move forward with the more aggressive or the full build out design on the stormwater?
I don't think we have a choice.
I think it severely limits the property on the west side, don't, but
Well, I'm not for tearing it all out and redoing it again if they sell that land and someone wants to build something.
it wouldn't be your responsibility. It would be the developer, but
Well,
if you build the road now for both properties, I don't know why you wouldn't.
we can always add in a repayment from the sell thing to the developer.
Or some kind of participation.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Good source.
completely lost with what you guys are discussing. Do you mind filling us in? Or did I miss
I'll
something?
second that one.
Okay.
I don't know where all the stormwater discussion came from. I didn't see anything on this.
Which part?
The stormwater thing you're talking about.
Oh, the stormwater, not the,
Yeah, I didn't.
not the pavement.
No, the widening part I got, the stormwater thing that you're talking about now. When did this come up?
The property on the west side of the road, we can look at that in a couple of different ways. We can consider it in its existing condition, which it's open land and you have some pervious area, where stormwater can run into the road, or into the ground, right? And then that really limits the amount of runoff you get into the road. But if we consider that that becomes a Walmart, and it's just all parking lot, there's basically zero amount that goes into the ground, and all of that basically dumps into the road. And that significantly impacts the storm sewer design, because now I know from one, or possibly 1 12-foot or 15-foot inlet at the very south end to 3 12-foot inlets up the west side of Bridgeport.
Okay.
And then when that storm sewer system ties in, our idea was to connect it to the TXB storm sewer design, because they already have 320, 350 feet of storm pipe that's coming down on the south side of the property. We just connect into that, but that increases their flow, so they have to change their design, their storm sewer pipes, and all that. So that's an additional cost that they would be asking for, is the difference in the upsize of those pipes.
And we don't know what that number is yet.
We don't. Well, I don't think.
No, they're working on it on their side.
But those would be straight numbers from the contractor working on that project. So those would be hard numbers, not budget.
The conference call we had all, we pretty much agreed it would mostly just be the cost of materials to upsize the pipe. They got a deep trench, so you can pad it and everything else.
Yeah, they're using PVC pipe on site. So,
Sorry, just thinking about, so if I remember the THP plans correctly, and again, didn't memorize them, they're gonna be going into the creek that's gonna impact the Dowdy area, correct? So are we looking into if the builder to the west and ties into that, are we having the foresight to think about what type of damage or the flow it's gonna have on the creek here? Right, just so THP is gonna be here, they're gonna drain this way into this creek, and this is gonna lead right into Dowdy. Which again, I'm not against making it a little easier to get another person into this commercial here, but are we looking into then the impacts of downstream here?
but there's also been a resident right south of the pump station, right there, where that culvert is, once that the addition to that home.
Correct.
That's a big area that currently hits that ditch, comes down here and goes into that inlet. It goes through there, so there's a benefit. You know, some of the flow is down here.
Okay, but still ultimately leading into this creek though?
Yes.
Okay. Alright.
And that won't be the same, once they get their development plan, it'll be different.
Because it puts a curve.
Okay.
We'll have some flow that probably goes to Tech Stop, some that goes to Bridge Farm, and we might have something else over here.
Okay, so some of TXP will go down to maybe a tech stop?
No, I mean,
Or it's in this creek?
we're just guessing at what the So
Excuse me.
what happened over here?
Can you,
No,
no,
we're just
talk
using
to other
the
people are talking, but listen to the answer to this question that Joe asked, and I can't hear anything over you.
How much
But
time somebody
whatever
else
they
knows?
do there,
Chris, please, don't talk.
you know, it may change, portion of the flow may go a different direction toward Bridge Farmer. So it may be overly conservative, but it's the best information that we have right now, because I don't know what's gonna happen with the.
Okay. That's fine. Thank you, Jess. Appreciate it.
Should I?
Yes, sir, I am.
Again, to his point, we are wanting to confirm that we are upsizing the pipe, because again, most likely that will be a parking lot.
His explanation was, he was kind of explaining it already while y'all two were talking. Do you want to use the map to explain what you just did to me, or said to me, or not?
Yeah, or.
Sorry, reiterate what you just told me. I know it's redundant, I apologize, but if you want to use that, then.
Yeah, because even Scott said he couldn't hear.
So the area on the west side that we're assuming, all of this area basically is gonna drain into Bridge Farm, because that's what existing contours show.
Right.
When they develop it, we don't know what they're gonna do. Some of it may go east, some of it may go north, and not all of it drained out here.
But again, the area is elevated above,
Yes.
so gravity
It
is going to
wants
make
to
it go
go
that way.
this way.
Okay, right, okay.
And so the question is, do we design it based on that being fully developed so they can do that? And they have that ability and then cut through here, or do we have to fight through trying to get an easement and some kind of storm pipe or channel through the church or some kind
The
of
other property
residential?
owners, okay, right,
This also benefits this property owner down here
right, that keeps getting flooded.
and keep that take 40 CFS.
Yeah.
Take 35, 40 CFS off of it.
Okay, but again, what we're talking about is, yes, go ahead and engineer it to where, like, ultimately the city's gonna have to pay the difference, and then we can potentially get the developers down the road to kick in that money if there is some kind of development to make us whole. Is that the thought behind going ahead and upsizing?
Well, that agreement is a little bit unique for GXB, to say the least, but I think with any,
How so?
well, typically you wouldn't go the road for development.
But they are.
But we are.
We are.
So we're past that part.
Yes, okay.
But I don't see any reason why any future development on that west side, if you could not, when you're doing the development agreement, you look at it and say, well, we had excess capacity that was built into the street that cost, X amount of dollars. We need you to pay for that if you're not gonna put in detention or retention or limit your flow.
Okay.
But it's just a tracking thing. Just gotta keep track of it when that
Janice,
comes in.
one more thing you have to do. Okay, but again, I think that would behoove us to do that.
Sorry, I was just gonna comment on the comment that we're building the road for the developer. We're building the road for the city for the plans that we had, even before TXP ever came into, to potentially widen that road.
Right.
So, I don't believe that we can continue, or should continue to say that we're doing it for this developer, then we do it for the next. No, we're doing it in conjunction to the development of TXP,
Right.
but with our own tax dollars. So that's my only fear, is just the blurriness of, and nothing against you, Justin,
No,
please,
I
just take no
appreciate
offense to it, but just, we're not doing it for the developer, we're doing it for our citizens.
We had plans, the EDC had plans drawn up by Dunaway for turn lanes for there that we have been submitting to TxDOT every year since 2016, trying to get that done.
Right.
So this isn't new and it's not just for them.
Okay.
We've been trying to get that anyway.
I'll modify my language.
Again, we don't need THP or other developers, we're on record now, saying like, hey, they get a free road, what do we get?
Or Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get a lot of people worried.
Thank you, sorry, Justin.
No, that's fine.
Anything else?
So again, to clarify, we are planning to upsize the pipes.
That's what I wanted to do.
Okay. So yes, I think we're all in agreement. We want to plan for that.
But do you want to see the cost for it?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. No signing blank checks, man, come on.
It's probably better to do it right to start with than have to go back and redo it.
Well, but really, there's not a lot of options otherwise, other than trying to install a brand new storm sewer separate from their system between a water line and a sewer line. And you have 10 feet,
It's gonna cost us a
For,
lot more, probably.
36 or 40-inch pipe.
You gotta have a clearance between the water line and all that anyway. We have to buy another right away.
And they have a retaining wall,
Cost
but I
prohibitive.
don't want to mess with any of the backfill behind me. I want that to be all on them.
Okay, so as far as C goes, you're working on that. They said they'd be 3 weeks getting. Well, they said it was 3 weeks or 2 weeks on their engineer getting back with you.
They said,
cost.
they said earlier this week, yeah, I said 3 weeks to get all
Okay,
this
that's
done.
what 3 weeks on that.
But again, I was conservative on the ones.
Gotta get all the stuff from them and punch it all in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, especially if I get my storm sewer to the right way, we're pretty much set up for it.
Okay.
It was just kind of depending on the outcome of the decisions.
Okay, so you're working on that one then. Well, it looks like we're finished with you. Unless you have anything else, we didn't cover on Wyden.
I saw it. No, I saw it. Thank you, Jesse.
Go on one question for you?
Question out for Mr. Jesse.
You're free to leave.
Next up,
Okay, moving on to D, discuss, consider, and act on the bid for the park furnishings, bench tables, trash cans, and et cetera. DJ Long on Park Board.
Hi, I am DJ Long, co-chair of the Parks Administration Board. I'm here to answer any questions you have about item D, which is the park site furnishing quotes. I understand you might have some questions about the by-board quote versus the non-by-board quote and what's going on with that. So I'm here to answer any questions.
No. Okay, so Pat brought up last time that maybe you could partner with another city that's
Okay.
doing a park, so can you explain that?
Yes, be happy to. So, I still have on my City of Frisco shirt. I've been at work all day at the City of Frisco. I've been there for 24 years. And so in that time, 16 of that was in budget and finance, where I worked with the purchasing and all of that as well. So last week, I did go spend some time and verify my thoughts after we talked about this. So, and I got that clarified by our purchasing people there. So, while other cities do have some contracts outside of buy boards, and we can hop on another contract at another city if we wanted to, if we found one, somebody who had one, but right now, most cities, if they're having independent contracts, it's for something that you can't get on buy board. It's for a unique widget or something that would be out of the ordinary. And the things that we're looking at for this are ordinary things that buy board has on grand scale that they're doing for statewide so that they can get scales of economy pricing on it, their guarantees, their rebates, all of the things that buy board offers you when you go with them. And the fact that one of our vendors was lower than anything we could even touch on buy board. Werlex came in, in total 5172 compared to even the middle buy board with rebate at 78. I mean, that's $3,500 difference there, not even looking at buy board. And so I don't think you're gonna find another city with these generic items on a local contract just because of the fact that they're gonna hop on a buy board to buy these at just scales of economy. They're not gonna go do a special contract for a generic item. It's gonna be a specialty widget.
So your recommendation on the best option is the Werlex?
I do, that is my recommendation. And I can tell you, and I did hear the lady who spoke during the citizens, and if I may address her, is that acceptable for me to kind of address her comment about donations? I do,
I don't have a problem with that. We brought
Okay.
that up, we brought that up two
okay,
meetings.
so I do know as a Parks Board, we have been extremely frugal with our funds and we have gotten grants to help pay for a lot of things, as which you'll see some of that later on the agenda tonight. And a lot of things that we have done, matter of fact, most everything we've done so far has been co-funded with a grant. What we're trying to establish right now is just a few basic things. This 5172 is just to get a couple tables, a couple trash cans, a couple of benches, and a pet center so that people can just start utilizing what's out there. And then we are in conversations about how to start getting donations to further expand those items and letting people donate and then start building the park better and more things. We just want to get some few more things out there for adults to sit on while their kids are playing and those type of things. And when they bring the dogs, that they're gonna properly take care of that waste and not throw it in the porta potty like they're not supposed to. So that's kind of what we're working on. We just want to get a little bit more out there before we start that, so that people get a feel of the park before we start asking them for money for the park. That's kind of where we're at with that. I hope that helps and answers any questions you've been having on that.
That's a great explanation.
Okay.
Again, just for like
Yeah.
aesthetics. I mean, we're not talking about like pink top tables. These are going to be like
No.
typical park
We're-
tables. And I know Janice had already sent out some.
We're talking
some
about
stuff, but
just
it's like green or
generic
blue or whatever.
green, country looking, just fit in with the arty scheme of things. And Janet, correct me if I'm wrong, is the first table we're ordering the one with the three, with the one side that has the handicap wheel, or is that gonna be the second one?
Well, we were gonna do two
One of
tables,
each, right?
one square, one round,
And
and one of those was gonna
We'll have
have
the
one
handicap.
side open, so handicap
Okay.
could roll up.
so yes,
and
one will be ADA and one will be standard.
They have all, like, you can see that has the, standard
Benches around.
square there, they all
Yes.
come in all the we're just thinking right now primary colors, like we did with the equipment over here. So, we're not trying to get
Nothing fancy, just
fancy,
basic,
weird green, we're going with standard primary colors that are
basic,
bright and
sturdy, under
catch your
warranty,
attention and
weatherproof, not wood, not rotting,
fun.
easy to maintain.
The others, you want.
But anyone that wants to make a donation can.
Anybody can make a
That's what I was
donation.
That's what I was getting ready to bring up. At
Yeah.
the Parks meeting, the two that I went to about this, I told them, you all put this out on Facebook and next door asking for people to sponsor it. Goes out there for everybody to have a shot at it. I'll sponsor one of the tables, pay for it myself. But the caveat is, you get a little brass plaque.
See, we wanna have the plan in place as to what value gets, right, so we wanna have a plan in place when you donate, that we have a plan that says, okay, are we gonna have a brick garden where you get a brick with your name on it? Are we gonna put a plaque on a table? Or, we wanna have the plan in place before we start getting those donations in. That's what we would like. We want to have a plan before we just have a free-for-all. We want to prepare. We want to put the cart before our horse.
So, I guess if
Or
we.
the horse
if they-
before our
they vote
cart,
to give you
whichever
this-
way it goes.
If they vote to give you this money now, you can't buy this stuff, or are you gonna get sponsors and then this money just end up sitting there for the next thing?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
If they vote now to pass this and give you money now, you're gonna go out and buy this stuff and put it out, or is it still gonna go out for people to adopt?
Well, we have a Parks Board meeting Monday night, and I believe that is on is that one of the things we're gonna be talking about Monday?
We can talk about
Yeah.
it. I'm sure we will talk about that.
Yeah, we talk about it.
It would be very nice for us to go ahead and be able to get these few more things out here, because we're having our first event on March the 28th,
Yes.
and there will be a grand opening ribbon cutting
Okay,
Nice to
during
have,
the Easter egg hunt.
yeah,
yes.
it'd just be
And-
nice to have this trash can out there and to have a bench or two for some people.
I agree.
It would just be nice to have these few items out there, and that would encourage, again, the donate, and maybe we can have our plan in place, and we can boost that as well, promote that as well.
It'll give us an option to say, and we can have little, table tip things up that says,
Yep.
you can sponsor a table just like this for X number of dollars.
Yep.
And have your name put on there, or you can sponsor this one, we get it back, we'll buy another one.
Okay.
So,
Sure.
I move to approve the Park site furnishing quotes for more or less the amount of $51.71.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? Nope. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes.
I'm for.
We made the motion, so.
Well,
Thank you, BJ.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Jen.
The Parks
Appreciate it.
Board appreciates your support.
1 second, Janice?
And, can I suggest that you go ahead and go to number I while you have BJ up here, in case you have any questions there?
We're excited to present the fact that in June, y'all voted to approve us to apply for the CCPOS grant, and we were notified that on November the 11th, 2025, we were awarded the Adult Fitness Court grant and $70,000, and we just need you to accept that grant so that we can let them know that we accept it. So we have a $70,000 grant to put in a small adult fitness court.
And this is just a approved signing the interlocal agreement, and it's just like we did on the one we got for our other money, that when they matched the trails, so. And need to.
And does that also come with the grant from Blue Cross Blue Shield?
Yes.
Yes, this one's the one that ties in with that will be the matching funds. So we'll have this one of 70,000 and then the matching one from Blue Cross Blue Shield that matches. Is it the same full amount or there'll be some?
The Blue Cross Blue Shield is $60,000. We have $70,000 from Coleman County Parks and Open Spaces. And then our plan was that of our budget money this year, we were doing the 73.
Yes. So it all ties together.
Any other questions on this? Okay, for I, you're going to discuss, consider an act to approve the interlocal agreement in order to receive the money from them.
I move to approve the interlocal agreement with Collin County for the Parks and Open Spaces grant for $70K.
Okay, we got a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good, passes.
Again,
Good job.
the Parks Board appreciates your support.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all's work on it. Okay, E, discuss, consider an act to approve resolution 157, updating the rules of procedure and participation for these meetings.
I make a motion to approve resolution 157 with, I made it.
Okay, got a motion, we get a second?
One second.
Any discussion on it?
Would like to point out, this is just going back to resolution 2, the rules that we should have been following since 1990. Somewhere along the line, some rules got skewed and people think it's normal. It never was supposed to be that way.
And we are going by the Open Meetings Act when we put this, it,
Okay, we got a motion, a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Moving on to F, discuss, consider an act to approve the Lowry Crawford Fire Department's first quarter 26 donation of $20,000.
And you have your financials. Is Paul was up here.
He was in the hall.
Sure, he's right there.
Hey, sit
Oh,
back.
he's sitting there.
I move to approve the Lowry Crossing Fire Department Q1 for 26 in the amount of $20,000 donation.
I second.
You got a motion, a second, any other discussion? Questions? All in favor? Any opposed?
I did say it, sorry.
You and I or not?
I'm an aye.
Aye,
Yeah,
okay.
approve.
There we go. It passes. G, discuss Kinder's Act on the Lowry Crossing Volunteer Fire Department first quarter stipend donation of $15,000. This stipend donation is $6,000 a year towards them, and they goes for the firemen's pay. They get like $1.25 to $1.75 an hour.
It's something nominal, yeah. It helps them put gas in their tank and maybe a dinner in their belly when they're here on shift.
So they get this huge paycheck, like $1.25, $1.75 an hour. That's what this goes towards for doing all they do for us.
I move to approve the Q1 26 Lowry Crossing Volunteer Fire Department donation amount of $15,000.
A second.
Get a second. No discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes.
Thank you, Council.
Discuss, consider, and act to approve the change order for the new city hall for $1,070. There you go.
Questions?
Have the next one.
Okay, so on the window removal, we removed it and framed it up instead of ordering a special order window. So the framing part of that, they took down a lot of the fireplace, well, all of the fireplace chimney, and made it safe for it to stay. And we have, Scott and I have met with them several times and made small changes so that we could stay as close to budget as we possibly could. And I feel like they've worked with us well, we've worked with them well to stay within. This is kind of surprising to be close to the end and only have one more thing besides this that has come up that will have to be taken care of. So that is the plumbing, the drain line underneath the house. All the other water lines have been replaced. They were replaced a couple of years ago. It's all PEX under there. But the PVC drain line from the far bathroom to the septic has a belly in it, which means that it doesn't take the grade that it's supposed to take for it to properly drain. So that will have to be fixed. And then the kitchen drain, whenever they did that, they put the wrong kind of fittings on there, and it is just incorrect. And our inspector has said, that needs to be redone. So that will probably be, he said $200 or $300, less than a $500 repair for that. It's just the pipe and the little bit of labor that it will take them to do that, so it shouldn't take much. So if we could, the change order, maybe approve it up to $1,600 so that we don't have to come back, because it won't be more than 5, he said. Am I correct on that, Scott?
Yeah, it's more than one, but.
Yeah. And we're still looking at it to be finished because of the weather. Right now, we're waiting on sheetrockers to come in. Because of the weather, the freeze, they have been tied up on apartment complex where the sprinkler system has burst, and they've had to make repairs there. But he's hoping to have them in on Monday, and we're still saying by the end of February it should be finished.
Any other discussion or questions on it? You wanna make-
I'm sorry, I have something to say. I know, in years past, we met once every 30 days, so we would try to bump or do a buffer for approval. But as we're meeting every other week, I don't think anything is as urgent to add a buffer for this. I say we approve it as form, and then we see another bid for the additional work to have a second change order. My 2 cents, but again.
I mean,
They're moving really fast.
I don't agree because they can have that done within, as soon as I tell them, yeah, they can have it done in a day. So 2 weeks could hold that job up for 2 weeks, and they still have to put the skirting on the house. So, sorry, but I don't agree with you.
It's perfectly fine. I mean, I understand. Again, the urgency though, I don't see the urgency in opening that place up.
Well,
But, and my 2 cents, again, you have
no,
to
you're absolutely right. There's not an urgency to open the place up. There's an urgency for Onyx to keep on their schedule. And this is one of the rare cases that I've seen where they've been on schedule maybe that far ahead of it. They're doing really good over there. When I was over there when the inspector was looking at it, and they used irrigation fittings on the plumbing pipes, which are illegal. They all have to be changed out. And I don't see it getting done for 3 or 400. I'm seeing 6 or 7. They don't even know where that pipe goes to. The bill suggested they scope it out. He thinks it's a grade where it just goes out somewhere on the property and dumps, and it's probably been covered over, which would be legal. So they're going to have to scope that line, is what Bill was telling me, to see where it actually goes to. But then it all has to be changed out anyhow. I'd put 1750 if they want to up it a little bit, if just a buffer, just in case we don't find. Personally, I think it's going to be more. That's not including probably have Eagle, because they get a great price, have them scope it out, run the camera down and see where it actually goes to. Bill said that was a must for out there. I don't know if you've met with him or talked to him about it, because I guess it wasn't at that stage for the plumbing with him, but it is with you.
You're talking about the main line underneath?
No, he's talking about that where the fittings are, the drain line to the sink.
Yeah, the kitchen on that
So
side.
yeah, I'm sure if it ties back into the.
Yeah, and he said it's very possible. I did a lot of storage stuff on the East Coast, and the bathrooms and the dishwasher and the sink, they can come from everywhere and join in and go a different direction than the regular toilets go to the septic. Y'all can put whatever price you want on there. The 1,070 needs to be approved now. I guess you might want to talk to Bill about getting them going on scoping the line out, because it's illegal to dump the gravel. Bill Pepper, the inspector.
Get him to scope it out?
No, get with him about for being scoped, so
yeah.
that we hear directly from him, it's illegal to dump the gravel.
Or we can just tell them to cap that line and tie it right into the main line that's right underneath it, so it's running right next to it. Then we know exactly what's going in the septic.
Yeah, there's that option. Cut it into the main line.
Well, and he's talking about going all the way over the laundry room. There is no laundry room, so that's going to be capped off anyway, so it is right there. It's just that one line right there at the main line.
Kitchen sink is doing some laundry room too, don't they?
Yeah, but they can, they don't have to run it to the laundry room because they could run it to that, but.
Well, just confirm with him and then just
Right.
cut it and cap it off.
Right.
Cap it off on the ground and do the dirt.
Right. Okay, so I make a motion to approve $1,750 for Onyx to finish the work for the change order and then the plumbing to cover the drain lines.
Up
To $1,750 total. $1,750.
So we get a motion. Do we have a second? Do we have a second? Okay. So, motion second to approve up to $1,750. Comes in under. And no discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Joe? Any else? Is there a question with that?
No.
Did everybody else vote?
Yes, everybody. That's a yes for everybody?
Yes.
Alright.
And then we got Joe.
Then we got Joe.
Okay.
Mary, do we have our attorney here?
We do.
Thank you. then I move we go to executive session.
Okay, at this time, everybody, we're going to close down the open meeting and go to executive session. After we come out of executive session, we'll reopen the meeting to adjourn. We have some discussion with our attorney regarding different matters that have to go to executive session. So thank everybody for coming out. And the time is 8:22.
I got you.